So today is March 24th. It's the day of my surgery. As a young girl, my dreams were never love, marriage, and baby carriage. I wanted to be a career woman and a rich aunt, but I definitely knew that if I became a parent, I knew how much my max children was and how many my min was. And I also knew what type of mom I wanted to be and what type of mom I didn't want to be. Decided not to have any more children and going through with a surgery where I'm being placed under anesthesia was nothing I was not prepared for. But let's start from the beginning.
No, this food good. Oh my god. Oh, get the food.
And the food me enjoy again.
Don't try this at home. Drive the boat line.
Where would they be?
We're a couple of miles away from San Antonio. I'm in a nice spot with it. That with pepper though.
In trouble with it, pepper. That is so funny. Scotch bonnet.
And pepper. I know it's funny.
So we decided I was going to stop working and go on the road with their dad. During that point is when we decided to start planning for Makai. And a lot of this stuff is very personal to me and I've never shown this, so please don't do too much in my comment section. Makai was planned down to the day he was conceived. I spent mornings checking my temperatures, making sure I was ovulating, making sure I was eating right, making sure that my body was healthy, making sure that I was prepared mentally and physically to have my son. And as soon as I missed my period, I knew that I was pregnant. Like clockwork, it never fails. And I shared that experience with everybody 4 weeks after my missed period. So the day that I knew I was pregnant is the day everyone knew on social media I was pregnant, and I shared the journey with everyone. My pregnancy was my first ever pregnancy, and needless to say, it was a challenge I was not prepared for. I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't.
For me personally, I can't keep much of anything down. And I'm constantly worried about, am I losing weight? Is the baby okay? Paranoid. Am I drinking enough water? Like constantly I literally good thing I have a husband like the one I do, because if I had to work during my pregnancy, oh my god, I don't know what I would do. That would be more added stress. And the good thing I can work from home, and I'm gonna start my classes, school soon to finish school. So honestly, I honestly don't know. I'm sure. I cooked yesterday. The food was so good. Babe enjoyed his food, and I was glad about that. But I literally shared out my plate, and I could eat like I only take like max 20 bites out of my food, because as soon as I start feeling too full, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, or the food is not going to stay down. And I try to drink half a gallon of water every day. Excuse the mess. If you see over there, I always have a water bottle over there. And that's because I try to drink half a gallon of water every day, because I'm always paranoid if I'm drinking enough water and all that. So yeah. And I try to eat when I can, or try to eat what I feel for, but sometimes I don't even want to eat. Like, I don't want anything. I have no appetite. But that's neither here nor there. And to all the first time moms out there, oh my god. It's rocky. It's rough. But I'm sure it's gonna be worth it.
Mentally, I was struggling with sickness, and I was not gaining the amount of weight that I was supposed to, because I couldn't keep anything down. Emotionally, I was worried for my son and making sure that he was healthy and growing properly. Mentally, I was scared about raising a black son in a very unforgiving, hostile, and violent society. But struggling so much with keeping food down, I wasn't myself, nor was I feeling myself. My main priority was making sure I had a happy, healthy baby boy. And as you guys can see, I don't have a lot of pictures of me pregnant because I was always sick. I think hubby have a lot of them, but for me personally, I don't have a lot of them. Makai was born July 2nd, 2018, happy and healthy and thriving. We agreed that I would stay home and I would take care of Makai until he started talking. I would make my way back to school. And this boy has a whole teeth in his mouth, another one coming in, and this boy is 5 months old. Okay, Kai, you not open your mouth. It's like, mom, get up my face. Fat man, you sitting up? Huh? De-stress your drive with the all-new. You sitting up, fat man?
No matter
Fat man.
diet, jumpstart your weight loss with the ketogenic diet.
I lost 6 inches in 4 weeks. I've never felt better.
You want to reduce the amount of available glucose.
Fat man.
To help you burn body fat. The Keto 30 Challenge is just 4 easy steps. Start your day with a meal replacement shake. Eat 2 low-carb meals. Drink a refreshing
that could happen, I got pregnant with Milani. I was not shocked or surprised when I got pregnant with Milani because I knew I was going to have a daughter. And my experience being pregnant was a complete 360. I wasn't sick, throwing up, and couldn't eat anything. I was happy and healthy, gaining an amazing amount of weight, and my experience completely flipped. I wanted to treasure my pregnancy, and this time around, I did not announce that I'm pregnant for months on months on months. I bask in my ability to be happy, healthy, and have a flourishing human being growing inside of me. And I didn't want the opinions and the comments of anyone this time around. I wanted to enjoy my experience on my own until I felt like I was ready. I also had to wrap my head around having a toddler, Makai, and then being a new mom again. This time around, I took pictures, I was happy, and I expressed myself a little bit different because I wasn't sick every single day, throwing up, and can't keep even water down. Milani definitely changed my view on pregnancy because of how happy and healthy I was when pregnant. And then into my pregnancy, a pandemic hit, which completely switched how I was going to the doctors and seeing my checkups. His dad now wasn't able to come to my checkups, and I was doing it by myself. Milani was born June 3rd, and she was happy, healthy, and everything I could imagine. Having two children definitely played a pivotal role in the way that I see myself, the way that I saw society, the way that I want them to be raised, the way that I see them as individuals and human being, and the way that I was going to live my life. I was now a mom of two, under two, in a pandemic where the whole world shut down. Having a toddler and a newborn and a freshly postpartum mom being locked up almost 24/7 in a society that there was no socialization definitely contributed to me having issues with postpartum with Milani. My experience with Kai postpartum versus Milani was vastly different in every single way. And while I tried my hardest to be the very best mom I could be, I felt like I was drowning. I felt like I was losing my identity under being a mom, a wife. And I also felt like I was failing my children because the type of mom that I said I would never be was something that I felt I was doing. I've always said if I became a mom, I would never neglect one of my children, mental, emotional, or physical needs for another. And that's why I've always had certain things about having children or certain parameters around having children. And I felt like with Kai, I was doing that. I felt like I was abandoning my son for a newborn baby because she's new and I have to make sure I keep her alive, safe, and healthy. And he is older. He is okay. He can stay with his dad. That also contributed to the spiraling of my mental health. I always said I would never be that mom. But overwhelmed with breastfeeding and taking care of two children under two in a pandemic, in a world that I've never seen before, definitely set my postpartum experience up for my mental health to decline. After I had Milani, I went right back into school also, which was another stressor for me. But I can say as the days and the months and the years went by, things got better. And that's what I have to say to moms that are struggling mentally or having problems with postpartum. Things get better. I was contented being a mom of 2 and very happy, and my children were flourishing in every way possible. I also felt like I was getting back to myself. My individuality was shining through, and I didn't feel like I was drowning in motherhood, wifehood, or any hood at all. I was me, and I was just Shakira. And while being a mom of 2 and being contented with being mom of 2, I kind of toyed with the idea of tying my tubes, but I was told that I was too young, and my OBGYN of 10 years would not do it because I may turn 30, 35 and want more children. So I left it at that, and I did other methods of birth control. And then came Manaya. And then came Manaya out of nowhere. I really pride myself on planning my children and executing certain things, and Manaya was a shock and surprise because your girl was taking her birth control pills. Between taking my birth control pills, drinking all these teas from Jamaica, and being sick, taking my birth control, throwing up, Manaya was conceived. Now I had to wrap my mind around being a brand new mom again after 5 years. Everything changed, from the bottles to the clothing to the gadgets to the recommendations from pediatrician. Everything changed. And with my experience with postpartum with Milani, I was scared out of my mind being pregnant again and going through postpartum a second time. But once I got pregnant with Manaya, I knew without a doubt that I was finished having children. She was the one that completed the puzzle. I knew then that this was my max. I bask in the ability to sit, rest, and enjoy my pregnancy because I knew that tying my tubes is a very final decision. I didn't share. I wanted to be clear and level-headed when I made that decision, and when I did, I was happy I did. I bask and rest a lot in this pregnancy just because of how final everything that was going to happen once I have her was. And honestly, announcing my pregnancy was not something I wanted to do. I wanted to actually wait until I had Manaya and then announce that we were having another child, but I was convinced otherwise, and I'm happy I shared. I shared that I was pregnant in my 3rd trimester of pregnancy. And that I wouldn't change for the world because I got to live my life and enjoy my pregnancy on my own with no outside noise. All the lessons I learned from being pregnant and postpartum with Kai, because my postpartum with Kai was amazing, and being pregnant and having an amazing pregnancy with Milani but having a horrible postpartum experience, was going to definitely affect the way that I did my pregnancy and postpartum. I knew a lot, I learned a lot, and I felt like I was prepared. My other 2 children were in school and thriving, and having Manaya was going to be amazing. I had Manaya January 7th, and she was happy and healthy and a great addition to our family. And the day after I had her, I was supposed to get my tubes tied, but that was canceled. Even though it was canceled, I knew that I was going to definitely finish what I started. So I had to get cleared at my 6-week checkup. I had to do a physical, and I had to make sure my body was prepared to go under anesthesia. And this is where we begin. So today is March 24th. It's the day of my surgery, and I'm excited and scared at the same time because I've never been under anesthesia before. I've never went under before. It's a pretty simple surgery, but I'm still scared. Also, this is a very final surgery, so there's no going back, there's no changing your mind, there's no reversal, there's no nothing. But we're here. Yeah. So I got to the medical center and I checked in, and they asked if I had a will and all of that stuff. And then I went to pre-op. When I went to pre-op, I had to wipe my body down with this special medication, special wipe to prepare for surgery. And I also had a lot of blood work done, in which they had to poke me 5 different times because I hadn't eaten, hadn't drank any water, and they couldn't find my vein. I feel like this is going to be an ongoing thing for me, with nurses not being able to find my vein. My doctor and anesthesiologist came to talk to me, and then they gave me a pill, and that pill, I don't remember anything after that. I don't even remember them wheeling me to the OR. So yesterday was my surgery. I don't know how people voluntarily go under anesthesia. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know nothing. Nada. Not a thing. As soon as I got up, I puked. As soon as I opened my eyes, puke, 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 puke. Okay, they gave me 3 different medication for nausea, vomit, and vomiting. And then the last one finally worked. And also, this is painful, because you have to use your belly muscles to do everything. To walk, to pee, to move, to everything. So when people say, oh, Tubal is not that much pain, but they're lying. It's painful. I got I got 800 mg of ibuprofen, and I also got some narcotics. I'm not taking the narcotics because I'm breastfeeding, so I'm only using the ibuprofen. But yeah, it went well. I'm taking it easy, one day at a time. Babe is helping. He had to sleep with Manaya yesterday or last night because I couldn't do it. But yeah, let me show you. So this is one. Let's find something to put close. And I have 2 incisions here, one here, one there. And when I did take my ibuprofen, I felt like it affected me and my baby the same. It made me sleepy, groggy, and just overall feel weird. So during my recovery, I tried to use my 800 milligrams of ibuprofen very sparingly, which may have contributed to how my recovery experience was. It was definitely painful and hard. But I wouldn't change anything at all. I'm happy with my decision, and I just want to be open and honest about my experience and how I choose to live my life and why I choose to make such a final decision. And I feel like the more open women are about stuff like this, we will be able as a community to hold space for each other and talk about it. And it won't be such a taboo. So for my navel, I had dissolvable stitches and glue. And then on my lower belly, I had glue to close those incisions. My doctor said that I probably won't have any marks or scars, but I'm not worried about that. And I will say that I have been bloated ever since I had this surgery, and it's been weeks, like my belly hasn't gone down. And also, this surgery definitely tanked my milk supply. I don't know if it's because of the surgery or is it the 3-month dip that naturally occurs when you have a newborn, but my milk supply definitely tanked. So today is Monday, the kids are at school. This is literally a pour into myself day. I've been on bed rest ever since my surgery on Tuesday, and I've just been chilling. And then Manaya got sick. I think she got sick on Friday. So for the past 2 days, she has been runny nose, coughing, all the stuff. I gave her a bath this morning. She's also, I think she's suffering from eczema or cradle cap because she's been scratching the mess out of her head. So I had to go in and wash her with some antibacterial soap and oil her down. I put Aquaphor and Vaseline on that little girl, and I covered her fingers and put mitten on her. So now it's just time for me to pour back into myself, okay? Between my surgery and taking care of Manaya, I felt a little depleted. So I want to fix my hair, and I also want to curl my hair, and I also want to do my nails. But we'll see how the nails part go. Have my hair super flat. Especially since I have finer natural hair. Like if I flat iron the roots of my hair super duper flat, like I'm doing a silk press, then this half a wig is gonna be showing. I'm just trying to get my ends straight. Funny enough, this hair actually holds a good curl, and one thing I know with kinky straight hair, it normally don't hold a curl, and this hair is shedding a lot. I don't know if it's because I dyed it. I dyed this hair jet black, but it is shedding like a motherfucker. We're gonna have to go back to 2016 when we started sealing the wefts and stuff, because these companies don't care. And you see how it blends seamlessly with my hair? I love that. But I like a bit of curl, so yeah, girls gonna curl it and heat on it. Let me just add some heat protectant. This is the Aussie Total Miracle Heat Protectant. When I'm finished, I'll come back. So I use a little bit of Evan spray to hold these curls. I'm not too fond of supporting people that disrespect black women, but I have it. I'm gonna finish it. I was actually trying to use the spritz, but the bottle won't sprit. And then I have the Aussie Miracle Curl Defining Oil. This is with coconut and jojoba oil. This, you need the tiniest bit, the tiniest. And the Evan kind of made it a little bit crunchy So I'm gonna uncrunch these curls, and it's gonna give my hair some shine also. And kind of weigh down my Laneige Chica sleeping mask and the Good Molecules eye patches. Then I'll be going to go edit one of these videos. So before I go bathe, my skin up that mask, okay? My skin must have been dehydrated because the way my skin sucked up that mask is insane. Okay, I'm about to go brush my teeth. I'm also gonna whiten my teeth. Bye. So I'm gonna wrap up this vlog video. I am about a week post surgery, and I will say that recovery is a lot more than I expected. They gave me narcotics and ibuprofen to take. I wasn't gonna take the narcotics because I am breastfeeding. And the ibuprofen that they give me make me feel drowsy, and it makes me start feeling weird and queasy. And I also notice when I breastfeed the baby, when I take the ibuprofen, she has the same symptoms. So I try only to use those ibuprofen when I'm super duper in pain. And I will say the last few days, especially at night, I was in pain. I have to pop one of them. So I breastfeed her first, and then I pop one of those ibuprofen right before her sleep time to go to bed, because 9 out of 10 times that's when I'm in pain. 8 out of 10 at night, and during the day I don't need any narcotics, I don't need any ibuprofen, I don't need anything. I can survive, I can move around, I can do what I normally do. I can cook, I can clean, I can do all of that stuff. The healing process is going okay, but it's going very slowly. It is a slow burn recovery. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this vlog up here. It may be a short one, but don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.